Welcome to Teaching Truth. My name is Glenn Cartwright. Let's read just a snippet of the letter that was written to the church at Smyrna. Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer. I tell you, the devil will put some of you in prison to test you, and you will suffer persecution for 10 days. Be faithful even to the point of death, and I will give you the crown of life. The word suffer is mentioned twice in the letter, and today in our reflections we want to think about the suffering that was to come to the church at Smyrna. Jesus said, "Do not fear what you are about to suffer." In other words, folks, there's more to come. There is suffering on its way. Now, delve into your Bible history and you will discover that there was a bishop of Smyrna, a man who was 86 when he died. His name was Polycarp. Polycarp was a disciple of John who had the Revelation vision. And in AD 155, Polycarp was taken prisoner by the authorities for the good confession of Jesus Christ that he had. He was credited by one of his contemporaries, Irenaeus, as being, quote, a steadfast witness of the truth. And the authorities were unable to throw him to the lions because the crowd wanted him to be burned alive. And when the fire failed to see him off, as it were, he was stabbed and he died, a Christian martyr. That's the reality of what happened to the bishop, to the pastor, to the minister of the church at Smyrna. And so Jesus in this letter is preparing the church at Smyrna to follow a similar fate. You see, prison in those days was not a place where you went to serve your sentence and accept your punishment in the sense that a prison, as we understand it, is today. Prison then was very much death row. It was the place you went to await execution. So by saying that some would be put in prison, Jesus is effectively telling the church the hard reality that some are going to die to prepare for what is to come. And the broad impact of this warning is to give the church a heads up, if you like, that a time of temporary persecution will soon arrive. That's why Jesus uses the time length of 10 days. Now, that mention of 10 days is probably not intended to be taken literally in the sense that we would think of 10 days, a week and a half, given the way apocalyptic literature uses numbers symbolically. It's probably just a way of conveying a limited, albeit intense, period of time and suffering. The story is told of a Christian missionary leader who lived in a country which was very hostile to the gospel. And one day he was captured by the secret police, taken to a prison camp, and placed in a large and very hot barrel. The guards repeatedly taunted him that he would be executed at sunset. And the man responded to the taunts of the guards by singing hymns of praise all afternoon. What a testimony. And when the commandant of the prison camp asked him what on earth on the day of his execution he was singing about, his response was, "I'm singing about Jesus Christ. This is a good day for me, for today I will see Jesus face to face. That man understood and got what Jesus was saying to the church in Smyrna. It was the late Reverend Dr. John Stott who said this, quote, "Suffering is an indispensable mark of every true Christian and every true church." Suffering is an indispensable mark of every true Christian and every true church. And Jesus tells these believers that the devil, note the devil, is about to throw some of them into prison. For what reason? That you may be tested. You will suffer. But the big truth and the main source of comfort for the church here is that the persecution that is headed their way is not random, is not the product of some overzealous Roman official or some vengeful Jew who slandered them. No, no. God is sovereign over all of this. And the purpose for his church is and was a redemptive purpose. He works in ways we cannot see. His ways are higher than our ways. The church at Smyrna suffered all right for their faith. Some of them were put in prison. Some of them died. Some of them went exactly the same way as their leader, their pastor, their bishop, Polycarp. To be a true Christian disciple today is to stand alongside Jesus Christ and take your place, in that arena of suffering. Suffering is an indispensable mark of every true Christian and every true church. And yet, in that arena, in that place of suffering, we can be assured, as the Smyrna church was, that God is sovereign, that God is with us, and God works in ways we cannot see.